Hoya Shores, a beloved beach in San Diego. But the state of the bathroom facilities, not so loved.
Local residents are fed up over graffiti in their neighborhood, and now they want to know who's responsible for cleaning it up.
What we're opening up is the most accessible form of home ownership.
A historic move by one California city in addressing the state's housing crisis.
The Menendez brothers are incarcerated here in San Diego, and this week marks their very first and very real shot at freedom. More on their parole hearing.
After a 2-year closure, vehicles are now allowed inside Borderfield State Park, but there's still restrictions in place.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
Democratic leaders in Sacramento unveiled their proposal for a new congressional map that could give their party more seats. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
And I'm Steve Price. In tonight for Carlo Cicchetto. Governor Gavin Newsom says California is redrawing its congressional map in response to Republicans in Texas redrawing their lines. CBS 8's Alex Cheney joins us now live with those details and the deadline happening this week. Alex.
Yeah, Steve, California state legislators are actually in Sacramento right now talking about this, deciding if they're going to push this through by that deadline coming up on Friday. Meanwhile, in Texas, much of the same thing. After a 2-week break, the Democratic members of the Texas state legislature are back, deciding the fate of their redistricting process.
They want to rig these elections, and they want the power that gerrymandering provides, because they know what Donald Trump knows. He's going to lose.
On Friday, California Governor Gavin Newsom released this proposal for California to redraw its congressional districts. It would give Democrats 5 additional seats in Congress to combat the plan by Texas Republicans to add 5 seats of their own.
We should never allow the politicians to manipulate the lines of their own election districts.
Republican California Assemblyman Carl DeMaio says Newsom is trying to rush his Election Rigging Response Act through the state assembly by Friday to put redistricting on the November 4th special election ballot. California currently picks its district lines through the state's Independent Citizen Redistricting Commission. The bill would temporarily give that power back to the California legislature to choose its own lines.
The governor's basically asking Californians, do we think it's more important to stop a coalescing authoritarian president, or do we think it's more important to maintain our independent districting thing?
Gerrymandering is a term first used by Boston newspapers in 1812 for the redistricting of Massachusetts. Because of the changes, incumbent Governor Elbridge Gerry lost his next election, and the term was named after him. Governor Newsom has vowed that any measure to overhaul the districts in California would only be triggered if Texas moves ahead.
The next step to watch for is if the redrawing bill is passed by this Friday, the 22nd. If it is, then voters will have the chance to redistrict parts of California coming up in the special election on November 4th. Reporting live, I'm Alex Cheney, CBS 8.
All right, we'll be following that closely. Thanks, Alex.
President Trump is once again taking aim at mail-in voting and calling for it to be completely scrapped before next year's midterms.
The president says he will sign an executive order to end it nationwide, claiming it's a source of fraud and inefficiency.
Mail-in voting, as you know what happens in California, it's so corrupt, where some people get 5, 6, 7 ballots delivered to them.
Mail-in ballots dominate San Diego's voting. Data from the County Registrar of Voters shows upwards of 85% of ballots cast were mailed in during recent elections. CBS 8 political analyst Wendy Patrick says the president might not get what he wants with the stroke of a pen, as the U.S. Constitution gives states the authority to make their own election rules.
Were he to try to do it, lawsuits would start getting filed immediately. And this litigation would have to wind its way through the courts and is unlikely to come to some type of resolution in time for the midterms anyway. So it's more likely that should these changes ever actually be made, the more likely path is legislation, not litigation.
Critics also fear the president's proposal scrapping mail-in voting would not only impact voter turnout, but also election staffing needs. More than a dozen San Diegans are suing the city of San Diego over the new trash fee, calling it unconstitutional. CBS 8 spoke with a number of homeowners in Mission Hills who joined this lawsuit. They say they didn't want to sue the city, but felt they had no choice. In the lawsuit, they argue they should only be paying for the cost of trash pickup, not anything beyond that to fund other things. They also say when voters approved the trash fee, the estimated cost was about $20 a month. The actual rates are now $32 to $43 a month. The city has pushed back against the critics, saying the voters approved this, and though people may not like to pay more, it doesn't mean it's unconstitutional.
La Hoya Shores is one of San Diego's most beloved gems, but the state of its restroom facilities is considered unacceptable by many beachgoers. Tourists, surfers, and locals all flock to that iconic spot.
Tonight, we're working for you, reaching out to city leaders about the conditions. CBS 8's Steffi Roche joins us live from La Hoya Shores tonight. Steffi, what issues have you seen?
Right, well, for people coming out of the water, people who want to clean up after laying in the sand, they have fewer options, at least at the northern facilities. Just take a look. These 3 showers, all inoperative. I came out here this morning and took this video you can see on your screen right now. One of the family restrooms inoperative, at least this morning. Filled trash bags were thrown around, and one of the bathrooms had a broken toilet seat. People on social media claim that last Wednesday, all of the showers here at the north side of the beach parking lot were out of order. I reached out to the city about those complaints and the condition I saw firsthand this morning. The city says they removed and are working to repair the broken toilet seat as of this afternoon. The city says their staff was notified about the inoperable showers last Wednesday. A spokesperson confirmed that since last week, 3 out of the 6 inoperable showers reopened. Chris Cott is a La Jolla Wind and Sea resident, and he says he often comes out to clean graffiti at the beach and has noticed the state of the bathrooms for a long time.
Look at this place. This is just amazing. We're just lucky to live here, and the people that come, frankly, that come to visit, they're lucky to visit here. And 100% of the people that come are going to have to use the bathroom eventually in the course of the day. And I don't know. I think our city really needs to prioritize in what we're spending money on, because this is something that 100% of the people need.
Cott has also raised concerns over this black sludge around the showers at the bathroom facilities at the southern end of the parking lot. The city tells me that all of the southern side stalls and showers are operational, although they are working to fix a broken door in one stall. And this isn't the first time we've reported on concerns over the restroom and shower facilities here at La Joya Shores. Back in 2022, my colleague Brian White also reported on these issues. And as the city works to repair these showers, they say they're trying to get them back and ready as soon as possible. But for now, reporting live at La Joya Shores Beach, I'm Steffi Roche, CBS 8.
Pretty awful conditions out there.
Nobody expects a public restroom to be pristine,
right?
But you don't expect half a toilet seat to be there, or whatever that black sludge was on the ground.
Yeah, that was a little disturbing. All right, well, we'll definitely continue to follow up on that. Graffiti has been growing in Bejo, and residents are fed up there. They didn't know where to turn until they contacted us.
Yeah, working for you, CBS 8's Alex Lai is trying to find out who is responsible now for cleaning it up.
Over the past 5 years, Bejo residents say their usual drive along Marina Boulevard near the Costco has been dampened by this graffiti. They say no one will take responsibility to remove it, and now they want answers.
Behind the train tracks, building after building tagged with graffiti.
As far as you can see, as far as the buildings go.
Mark Hines lives in Bejo and has watched the graffiti grow over the years.
Across from Costco, when I was leaving Costco, I noticed, oh, there's a giant graffiti, probably about 30 feet high. And now there must be 6 buildings covered with graffiti. And of course, now they've started spraying the stone walls.
Finally fed up, Mark and his neighbors turned to the city.
I actually wrote in the Get It Done app 3 different times over 3 years, and they kept marking it resolved. And I said, how is it resolved? And they said, well, it's not the city's responsibility, it's MTS, which is the trolley.
But when he contacted MTS, they told him it was the city's responsibility.
So I spoke to the city again, and they said, it's just too dangerous to work that close to the tracks. Well, the graffiti artists, they did a pretty good job of working there.
So who is responsible?
We're kind of stuck here with no response, and everyone writes to get it done if there's no change.
Working for you, we reached out to the city of San Diego today. They say Mark's most recent Get It Done request from June of last year is still in process, and staff is looking into it. The city also tells CBS 8 that they are working on getting us answers about how they are dealing with the large graffiti tags on the commercial buildings. The city's Get It Done website states it removes graffiti from city-owned property, but when it comes to private or commercial buildings, it's the property owner's responsibility. It says code compliance officers notify owners when graffiti is reported and follow up until it's removed. MTS, however, tells CBS 8 these locations are not their property. They provided this map saying the graffiti is more than 100 feet away from their property line. We're still waiting to hear back about whether the stone wall is MTS owned.
The owners of the buildings can also take some responsibility, maybe a joint project. A lot of us in the neighborhood are willing to help.
We will update this story online at CBS8.com as we hear back from the city and get more answers. Working for you in Bejo, Alex Lai, CBS 8.
Alex, thank you. And remember, if there's something you would like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. The Menendez brothers are now just days away from their first chance at freedom.
Where their cases stand ahead of their first ever parole hearings, that's still ahead. Plus, Borderfield State Park is back open after 2 years. We'll share the restrictions still in place.
And Hurricane Erin is not expected to make a direct hit here in the U.S., but its impacts will definitely still be felt.
Right along our coastline, we are talking about some sunshine out there. We're seeing right now surf about 2 to 4 feet. Also, as we go into tonight, we're going to be talking about overnight lows. They're going to stay in those 60s, but they're going to be a little bit warmer than usual, as well as daytime highs this week, and warranting some alerts. We'll take a look at your complete forecast coming up.